Hi guys, it's Nancy with Nancy's Nibbles of Life and welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, again, welcome. My name is Nancy and I'm on the WW Personal Points program and I also count calories. So welcome to today's video. You know, summer is almost over, but not quite. I have a great summer sandwich that I think you're gonna love. You know, everyone knows about lobster rolls, but sometimes those can get really pricey. I found a great substitute at Trader Joe's. Their Langostino tails are delicious. They are actually pre-cooked, so you're just warming them over. Add a little butter and you couldn't tell me this is not comparable to your favorite lobster roll at a fraction of the price and calories. All right, are you ready to get into it? Let's go. Okay, let's get into our ingredients. You're gonna need a bag of the Trader Joe's Langostino tails, 12 ounces in this bag. They come, again, pre-cooked and frozen. Very easy to take out only what you need. We're gonna use garlic, fresh garlic cloves, real butter. I'm using the Kerrygold pure Irish butter, but real butter is important for this recipe. The Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning, Lawry's seasoned salt. I'm using the reduced sodium, and I also have a little bit of Lawry's garlic powder, my favorite garlic powder. And then for our buns, we're using these Trader Joe's brioche hot dog buns. It's the perfect vehicle for something like a lobster roll. All right, let's get going. First things first, I have a big fat clove of garlic here, and I am just kind of using my tool here, my grater, and I am grating these cloves of garlic. You know, you want a minced chop, but sometimes this grater is a perfect tool for getting just the kind of texture and consistency you want. So I'm gonna go ahead and grate a couple of cloves of that garlic, and then I'm gonna probably run my knife back over this garlic so that I can make sure I get a really small mince and make them as uniform as I can get them. So there you are. You just want your garlics to kind of melt into your butter. Okay, I have my skillet here. I'm using a little cooking oil, and I'm gonna go ahead and warm my tails. So again, these are pre-cooked. I'm using 3 ounces of the Langostino tails, adding them to my skillet and just getting them kind of warm. So, you know, these tails remind me, of course, of a shrimp or a lobster, but they have their own distinct flavor to them. And you see they're just kind of baby tails. They almost look like crawfish. So I'm going to go ahead and add my Lawry's seasoning here. You know, I always say you're the cook. Use the quantity that you feel you need for the seasonings. And I can tell you it's about a half of a teaspoon. And of course we're going to use our Creole seasoning here. And so that's the Creole seasoning, garlic powder, and the seasoned salt so that we can season these Langostino tails. And just again warming them. So I added a little bit of cooking spray just so to ensure that the seasonings stick to the tails. So, you know, you only probably have to do this for, you know, 2 or 3 minutes to ensure that the seasonings get distributed throughout the Langostino tails, and again just to kind of get them warmed over. Okay, now that our tails have warmed, we're going to go ahead, of course, and take them out of the skillet. And while our skillet is still nice and warm, we're going to go ahead and drop our butter. So I mentioned to you that we're using real butter in this recipe, and I'm using the Kerrygold because I think it's such a rich butter and it's very flavorful. And we're going to use 1 tablespoon of this butter. The Langostino tails are 0 smart points. The butter will be 6 points for 1 tablespoon. Now, of course, if you don't want to use real butter to save yourself a few points, I completely understand and I get it. And something like maybe I can't believe it's not butter would be good here. But I'm telling you, real butter certainly makes a difference on a recipe like this. So, and at only 1 tablespoon, it goes really, really far. So our 1 tablespoon of butter along with those minced garlic, we're going to go ahead and allow this to cook pretty slowly over a low heat temperature. So the reason why we've reduced our heat so low is because we want the garlic to infuse with the butter. We also want to ensure that we are not burning our garlic or the butter, because then it takes on a different flavor profile, of course. So nice and slow, just want to work it through and make sure you get your butter nice and melted. And of course, you see those seasonings at the bottom of the skillet. It just picks it up, you know, with the butter. Oh my goodness, so tasty. This is such a great recipe, and this sandwich really feels luxurious, you know, nice and rich with those tails that almost remind you, of course, of a lobster tails and crawfish. You know, the little tails look like crawfish to me. So, okay, again, we're just letting our butter melt. Take your time in this step. Okay, so our garlic and our butter is looking really good. So now we're going to go ahead and add our Langostino tails back into our skillet and ensure that those tails get nice and buttery. You want all of that garlic, all of that butter to mix with those tails and ensure that every bit of it is just drenched in that garlicky, buttery flavor. So tasty. And of course, this should only take a moment. I like to let them sit in it for a little bit just to ensure that everything gets infused. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull up our tails. And we're going to leave just a little bit of butter in our skillet, because what we're going to do next is take our bun. You see these brioche hot dog buns. They're pre-cut from Trader Joe's, so you have a split in the middle. And of course, brioche is so nice and buttery and fluffy. It's an awesome vehicle for this recipe. So we are going to turn our skillet up just a little bit because we want to toast these buns in that skillet with that butter. So, you know, if you're brave like me, you could do this with your hands. But you don't have to. You can certainly use a pair of tongs to move that bun throughout your skillet to ensure that it toasts on all sides, because we want to ensure that it's nice and crispy when we bite into it, but also, of course, that that butter is, you know, throughout the entire bun. So we're going to let it sit on one side, let it get nice and brown, and then flip it over. And we're going to do the same for the tops and the bottoms of our roll. Okay, out of the skillet, nice and brown, toast it up nicely. We still have this split in the middle. So let's build our sandwich. I'm adding a little bit more of that garlic powder inside of my bread. Let's go ahead and add our tails. This recipe was so good, I'm telling you. So yummy. So I'm using that brioche bun from Trader Joe's. You don't have to, but it's a perfect vehicle. Like I said, I really love it. You could use whatever bun that you have on you. But the size of the bun is perfect for this recipe, and also the taste of it. So the Trader Joe's brioche hot dog bun is 6 points. The butter we used is 6. The tails are 0. This is a 12-point sandwich. I know that sounds kind of high, but it is something that you could really enjoy in the summer. Share it with your friends and family, and you know, something really special. 363 calories for this sandwich. Really tasty, every calorie worth it.
Well, what did you think about that sandwich? Oh my goodness, guys, it was so delicious. Garlicky, buttery, it was so luxury. Oh, it just really felt like $1 million, you know? It's a great sandwich for summer or anytime. Well, I hope you get a chance to enjoy it in these last few weeks of summer. If you do, let me know what you think. Okay, guys, until the next video, I'll see you. Bye!